So if you already have that, can you then hop in? It's kind of.
What do you already have?
I have the assistant. I have all those. All
4 courses?
Yeah. But I didn't enroll in USM as like doing the program because it was kind of like I was just kind of taking them when I could take them.
Yeah.
So.
If you miss 4 courses,
It affects the number.
Yeah.
unless you have a whole bunch,
Especially if they're all in order.
Yeah.
So.
you're probably better off going to campus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you live anywhere near campus, Portland?
No. Thank you.
Or you could not jump in to start and then see they might need you later on. They might be recruiting you.
Yeah. Okay.
What was it after organizational behavior? What's the next one?
It's either introduction to leadership or evaluation and supervision of personnel. One of those two.
What about the ones where it's one or the other, like curriculum development or middle level curriculum? How would they decide which one is taught here?
We go out to lunch
Is
and
it
we
like
say,
a group
Flip a
decision,
coin.
who can we get to go down there?
So it's your decision, not ours?
If you had a real, you could tell us what you wanted, and we'd say majority rules. I mean, they're both good courses. There's people. The middle level ones aren't really middle level. They just apply to everything. We do a lot of integrated curriculum work and technology stuff, so it applies everywhere. And those right now we offer it in the 617 and 615. We offer it at USM using the summer as either 1 week or 2 week course. Usually in July or August, they just block 2 weeks together, like 8 days. You go like half days, and it's done.
The internship piece you would just do that on your own if you didn't go through it? Because I would think that this would
You have to be.
kind
You
of
can't do
handy.
an internship unless you're matriculated in a program.
Okay.
You just can't have an internship.
Yeah. So how? Without.
You can do one through the state. The state will set up an internship with you.
Oh, okay.
Some students do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as this one though, because you really get a whole year's experience with somebody really talking to you. And we used to not require. We used to ask people to do the work in the summer, not require it, not meet, and not charge anybody. But you know what? There were beaches around. There were golf courses around. There were family outings. People didn't get in 80 hours. They were way behind the 8 ball come the fall. It's nice. We don't get that many good days, right? If your family comes up and you want to play out by the pool, or last thing you want to do is go to a school board meeting, or go spend 2 days in the central office reviewing files, interviewing candidates. You get behind the 8 ball, then you panic. If you do the 80 hours in the summer, it works. It balances out.
So this is really a big umbrella of administrative tasks. Like I know you guys come in and interview countless candidates, we're constantly hammering curriculum. I mean, if it's already part of your responsibility to evaluate non-tenured teachers, all this can come under that umbrella.
There's no tenure in Maine.
There's no what?
There's no tenure in the state of Maine. It hasn't been for 20 years.
Wow.
There's only continuing contracts.
Continuing contract teachers, you know what I mean?
I didn't mean to be
You
rude,
know,
but there's a difference. Some states have tenure. You have tenure as administrators in some states. Maine doesn't have any tenure, except for I got tenure. I'm a professor.
No, until you get that continued contract, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, these are already things that if,
The people who take this program, many of them remain classroom teachers and say, I'm a better teacher because I took the program. We're always talking about teaching and learning in every class. Absolutely.
Can I just clarify?
So I'm not sure, I don't know what your question was.
I'm just kind of wondering, I don't, if there's things that you're already doing, lots of these tasks, if you run a department or whatever, I mean, a lot of this can be incorporated time-wise.
If it fits to meet the ISLIC standard, running a department is different than running a school.
No, I realize that,
Yeah.
but when you're having a big ticket item
Yeah.
and you're presenting, a downtown presentation to
Yeah.
increase,
Yeah,
a big ticket item or.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I just think like a lot of the things that you're doing, you're already
Yeah.
coordinating with your principal.
Yeah. The thing that you want to do, I'll tell everybody, don't do stuff you already know. Because it will help you now, it won't help you later. If you know how to do something now, don't use your hours up on that unless you're really, we don't count hours, we can tell by what you do whether it meets the hours.
No, right, but I mean, it'd be nice to know that you could incorporate or use some of those hours.
If it meets the ISLIC standards, then it will count as some hours. You wouldn't want to spend 90 hours evaluating teachers.
No,
You wouldn't want to spend 90 hours presenting the school.
But if you're already doing it in your everyday operation, if
If
you're
it-
already in here in the summertime, putting together hiring committees and
Sure,
questions.
if it fits the ISLIC standards, it can count.
So to clarify,
Yep.
does the cohort need to make a decision on which of the 3 certifications
You
before
don't
they
need to do,
start?
no, you don't do that until the internship.
Okay.
Because well, unless I correct myself, you couldn't be a special ed director through this cohort, because they have different courses. There's like 3 different courses. So the only options you'd have is a building principal or a director of curriculum, because there's 3 separate courses different than this for the special ed director. You could probably drop out and go to USM to take those courses. It's basically another law course, it's a programming course, it's an intro to special ed law. So 3 different courses. You could take every course here but that and go to USM to take those. And you still could do the internship. Does that make sense? But there are 3 different courses for special ed. Thanks for asking that question. I don't want to mislead anybody. Yes?
So you can still be in this program and then take the 3 courses?
Oh, just when we were doing the curriculum in the teaching class, you'd find the course at Gorham. There were 3 different courses. Intro to leadership, you'd take intro to special ed administration.
Couldn't I do this to be a building principal plus the 3 classes for the special ed director?
It's a different internship. The
Okay,
state,
so I
the-
have
the-
to do 2 different internships?
well, the way the state has it now is it's changing that each internship has to be 2 semesters. In the past, what we were doing was, it was 1 semester. So somebody who wanted dual certification would have them do 9 credit hours in their major area, and then the following summer they'd do some stuff for 3 credits to get dual certified. The state's changing that. What?
Do some stuff.
Well, not do some stuff, you know. You do not do everything over, just do some very focused stuff. That's not too academic, does it? No. But they're changing that in a regulation. We don't know the effective date, so primarily right now you'd stick with 1 for 9 hours. And if you got certified in one area and you apply for another job, you could find a way through the state to get those other certification, if you had the courses. Anything else?
So if there's enough people to do the cohort here, how do we then officially become part of the program? Do you apply online?
What you would do is you'd give me a list of the names of the people that were here. You would get a letter from, I'd have to call David up and say, I've got 25 people here from Sanford who want to be in the program. Do you know about this? And are you aware of this? Do you support it? Because what this will mean is, on Monday or Tuesday nights, they're going to have to be able to attend class from 4 to 7:30, 6:30. I would not do that. That's a lot of people. And if he said yes, then I would go back to figure out a budget. Okay, here's the first, and then you'd get a letter, you get 2, you get one from Kristen Standy signing up for this course, registering you for this course. And then after that, we would take the rest of the semester, having you apply to graduate school. So you wouldn't have to apply right now. We'd take the rest of the semester and we'd walk you through. Usually if you come in with a cohort like this, you don't need 3 recommendations. You only can get 1 to the graduates. That's a benefit. But usually in graduate school, you have to have 3 recommendations. You only have to have 1. And so we'd have the rest of, we'd try to get you ready to apply within a month. It's not that hard to do. You have transcripts, you write a brief essay, and you have 1 recommendation.
Do you
Right.
still have to do like MATs or GREs?
No. We eliminated all standardized tests. We realized after a while that we didn't see any correlation between how you did on the MATs or GREs and how you did in class or how you were as a principal. And many of us went to graduate school in the 70s, so we didn't believe much in GREs anyway, even though we had to take them. I don't think they make any sense for graduate school.
Does that go for USM across the board or
No,
just
it
the
doesn't.
cohorts?
No, it doesn't. In our program, it's across the board,
Okay,
but not, if you're in Muskie, they still require GREs.
okay.
Yeah, I had to take them for the biology program.
Yeah, some are other, I don't know how much they use them. I learned the other day that my son's now a senior in college, and when he went to college, there were only 3, he goes to Emory University in Atlanta. There were only 300 schools in the United States that didn't require SATs. Now there are 800. So the move at a national level is not to require SATs. But that's before we have proficiency-based grading, which will raise interesting questions too, I think. So there's no graduate testing required.
If we don't start in the spring, it's the fall, it's not the summer, right?
We'll start in the spring if we want to do, yeah, we can pull it off.
We can,
Yeah. When you have momentum, you don't stop, right?
right.
There's, if there's enough people, and we can pull it
Talking to
off.
coach who's 8 months pregnant right now. That's not what she wanted to hear. Yeah. She hides it well, but she didn't want to hear that.
If you miss the first class, you can always just jump in right after that, and pick that class up another time. I said life gets in the way of things, right? Good things get in the way of somebody's not being able to go to class. So I guess the thing after today would be, the next day or two, let you know. I don't know who's coordinating this. It's unusual for a teacher to coordinate something like this. Usually it comes from an administrator.
Now, is downtown gonna frown upon mega reimbursements?
Jody was in here was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And Jan sat in here, and Jed was here. Our contract says we're allowed graduate credits a contract year.
It's in the contract.
They were very supportive.
It's in our contract.
Yeah,
I spoke to the union president, the contracts, the budget got frozen, the union president said if it's in our contract, they have to honor what our contract says, regardless of what they did with the budget. And that's what our contract says, so, the union doesn't feel that there would be an issue. Jan did not seem to think there was an issue, that we've done this, many of you guys
That's right.
know, Aaron Tremblay and Heather English and Aaron Stam, and,
That was like a group of 4 to 6, though.
no, so that was still.
Dave McKechnie
That was in the 20s. There was 20 that started.
Really?
Yeah, and that went through, that was the last group. I know Bernie Flynn
Yeah.
just finished this last semester. And there was no issue.
And
Like I s- like I
That
said,
group, that group that you were just mentioning, they had classes with Massapequa.
No, Bernie was in an
no,
LTS
that
group.
Bernie,
Not-
the
not
Aaron,
Bernie,
Aaron,
yeah,
yeah, there was
Aaron
a few
Allen.
Yeah.
different,
Yeah,
Massapequa, I think
Yeah.
was involved for the numbers, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was still quite a few Sanford people.
yeah.
I think the more districts you have included, the better. Like the one we run in Scarborough is great. There are like 6 different districts. You come in, you hear what everybody else is. Sometimes you just get not stuck, but you work in one place.
Right.
We just wanna make sure if we're having 30, that 16 come from Sanford, so we can stay here, and they can drive. We did.
Wait a minute, I live closer to Massapequa.
Doesn't matter.
Your vote doesn't count. It's 17.
But you're already here on a Monday, you know what I mean? You can roll over and take the course.
So I guess that would be get a list of people who are really interested. I would assume it'd be like a month before we could start. I don't, as soon as I could make it happen, I had the numbers. I can make it happen fast. I gotta find I gotta look at everybody's teaching schedule. I gotta see who's available on it. The first one might be just who's available on a Monday or Tuesday. We might have to then set a different date. I wouldn't wanna wait a whole time. Because I have about 3 people that teach this course. One's already teaching on a Tuesday right now. So, it's a good problem to have. If we have students, it's a great problem to have, right? So maybe by late tomorrow afternoon, because I'll be going to Massapequa, if I knew how many, it'd be good to know how many I had here before I went to them and said,
I can definitely email you regardless, whatever we have for a number by that time, obviously.
can you email me names? So people should email your name. I'm definitely interested. I will take the first course and I'd like to do the whole program. After that, if you change your mind, I don't know what happens. But I can't go without somebody saying that, right?
I will take the first course. What was the follow-up?
I intend to take the whole program.
I intend.
Because it's only fair to the rest of your colleagues that you
Right.
don't say, I'm going to take one course and then bail out. And I can go to the dean and say, I've got these people committed to this program. So we can generally offer it to them. You don't want to have people not be serious, then leave the group, and then the group's driving to Borough. But obviously you can quit any time, right? If doesn't work, you quit. Nobody's forced you to be here. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions that you can